So this version of Untitled Bamia is a stew of okra and lamb. So I'm going to start with the lamb. In this case, I've got lamb shanks. They're one of my favorite cuts. They have a good ratio of fat to lean, and they're also on the bone, which I think probably adds more flavor. I have no scientific evidence of that, but whatever. Into our Dutch oven, we're going to add about a tablespoon of oil, and we're going to start browning our lamb shanks. And once they're looking crispy on both sides, we can go ahead and add about 2 liters of water, just enough to cover the lamb shanks. Let's bring them to a boil and go ahead and skim off some of that fat. And after about 20 minutes or so, you can pull those off. We just want to kind of par cook the lamb shanks to get some of the gaminess out of them. And be sure to save that broth for later. Back in the same cleaned Dutch oven, put in a little bit more oil, and we're going to add some sliced up garlic, as much as you want. Start to brown that a little bit. And in the meantime, we're going to cut the meat off of the bone and into bite-sized pieces. Dump that on in with the garlic, give it a good stir. And we're going to dice up a couple of tomatoes and dump those in, as well as an entire 6-ounce can of tomato paste. 6 ounces is about 200 milliliters, I want to say. Next up, if you have pomegranate syrup, go ahead and use a few tablespoons of that to sweeten and tartan this up. I didn't have access, so I made my own. Super simple. Just take some pomegranate juice, some sugar, some lemon juice, and boil away until it thickens up into a syrup. I went a little overboard and it turned into a bit of a caramel kind of consistency. If that is the case, just heat it back up and it'll start to get a little bit stringy and you can try and deal with it. Very sticky. Once that's finally in the pot, stir it in, let it dissolve. And we're going to add in a couple tablespoons of chili flake. In this case, I'm using Korean gochugaru, just because that's what I have on hand, but you can use cayenne, you can use any heat level that you want to use. And at this point, we're going to prep the okra. Just chop off those hard tips, but the rest of it we're going to leave intact. And dump those in. I've got about a half a kilo, I want to say. I forget how much I have. Just go by the ratio that you would prefer to have in this dish. If you want more okra, add more okra. At this point, we're going to add back in the broth from when we were boiling the lamb. Stir it on in. And we're going to cover it up for another 20 minutes until everything starts to get all creamy smooth. So that is Untitled Bamia. It's got this rich tomato flavor that really balances out the gaminess of the meat. And the okra, you know, it's just a solid vegetable choice. It's got a really cool texture to it too. So yeah, go ahead and give this a try. And if you like this video and you want to see more international cooking videos, then be sure to subscribe. Cheers.